What I've been thinking about for this particular video today is we have to stop doing things because other people are doing them. We need to be focusing on things that make us happy and things that we enjoy. Don't get caught up in trying to do too many things. It's a quote that just drives me crazy is all the things. What does that even mean? What does doing all the things mean? Because if a person is doing all of the things, there's no way that you wouldn't be having some sort of progression. I know that we do a lot of tiptoeing and dancing around things instead of just coming out and saying it. So when a person says they're doing all of the things, are you moving your body consistently, making healthier choices, eating enough, drinking enough water? Are you doing those things consistently? Because once or twice a week, that's not consistent. Do you get what I'm saying? You got to crawl before you walk. If you're in that crawling stage, that's okay. But I need us to really sit down and think about what it is that you want. What are your goals? Why do you have those goals? If your goal is to be 150 pounds and you know that you haven't been 150 pounds since you were in high school or middle school, first of all, let's assess, is that a realistic goal? Why do you want to be that particular number? Is there a feeling that you think you're going to have when you get there? Do you know what I mean? There's a reason we pick a number. They're not just made up numbers. You have a reason for it. And think about that. How do you think your life is going to improve? What does that look like? What is a person in your mind that has this particular goal that you want? What does it take to get there? And is this something that you can sustain? I think that people that are active, I think that's great. But I also believe that there are some people that are doing too much. And as much as we don't want to be honest about that, there is a such thing as doing too much. And it's not good for you. And that can lead to burning out frequently. Like all through this, I've not burnt out. Like I'm not tired of making videos. I'm not tired of exercising. It's not that. For me, it's battling this inner thing of, okay, just because historically I get a certain way around this time of year, that doesn't mean I'm going to be like that for the rest of my life. These are the times where our systems have to jump in and we have to push through. I've been walking consistently. It's been a few weeks and it's just now become a normal part of my day. I know I'm going to get a walk in. But something that I did to make it a little easier for myself is not having this stipulation on the time. So that's what works for me in this moment. I don't particularly feel like I'm in a position where I still need guardrails, but having some sort of goal helps me. And when I didn't have a goal other than maintenance, I mean, maintenance in itself is a goal, right? It's maintaining, but that's an ever evolving thing. So I found for me, I'm not leaning heavy into the strength training like I was before. And I was doing the lift with C. And you know what? I just realized I don't feel like doing it. So I'm not going to do it. I am happy with the things that I eat. I felt myself starting to put this pressure on myself like, oh, I've got to go out and I've got to do all these recipes. I don't have to do that. And I don't know why I keep doing that to myself, but I'm not interested in that. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, this recipe seems cool. I've got lots of recipes printed and still haven't tried them. The truth is, I don't have this great enjoyment from preparing food and eating it. Like I'll eat things, the things I eat, I enjoy eating them, but that's about it. I saw a video on YouTube. I didn't watch the video, but I saw the title and I can't remember exactly what it was. This was in a whole different category. This wasn't GLP-1 content. I think it had to do with gear, like camera gear. Are you getting these things because you want them? Or are you getting these things because everybody else is getting them and you think that's what you're supposed to want too? This is what I interpreted from the title and the thumbnail. It wasn't said in those words, but that was the point. And so I started thinking like, what am I doing? Am I doing some of these things because this is what I really want to do? Or am I doing them because I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing? So if you're feeling a little lost or confused or like you're not doing enough, maybe take this assessment and ask yourself, why am I doing these things? What is my goal? What is your goal? I don't want to gain any more fat. So you'll hear me say from now on, fat loss. I don't care about the number on the scale. Now, I used to, but in this season, I don't care about the number. I care about my body composition. But then I thought about that too. Am I putting too much pressure on myself? Yes, I'm in the green. I had some areas from those 3 months of not being consistent with walking, strength training, where things shifted. So when I noticed things shifting in the other direction, I was like, no, 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 we got to course correct. But I don't have to go over the top. So walking, that's doable. I've got a walking pad. There's no excuse other than I just don't want to. There's no excuse. We have electricity. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason that I can't do these things. It's based off of what we want to do. And think about anything that you've done in your life. If you wanted something, you did what you needed to do to get there. We did a lot of unhealthy things to get to certain weights. Maybe not you. I assume a lot of people did that, but that may not be the case for you. It was the case for me, but nothing was important enough, right, for me to keep going until I had a health scare. Then that even got me on the right track for a while. And then I fell off because nothing that I was doing during those times was really sustainable. It started off that way, and then I took it to the next level and the next level until it was just too much. So make sure that's not what you're doing right now. You know what I mean? I read your comments, and there are a lot of you that are feeling just blah. And so if you're living in a place that doesn't have sunshine all year round, and even if you are, I'm just saying specifically for those of us that don't live in these warm climates, a lot of it has to do with the sun. We need to be more compassionate with ourselves. The same encouragement that I see a lot of people giving in the comments to other people, we need to have that for ourselves. We need to be our biggest cheerleaders. Community is great to help lift each other up, but we've got to know what we want before anybody can encourage us. So if you don't have a goal of being defined or building muscle, if you just don't care about that, then don't worry about strength training. Do you know what I'm saying? If you are someone who prefers cardio, you just don't want to strength train, then don't do it. Just don't do it. Then do the cardio. And the other way around, if you enjoy strength training or resistance training or something like that, but you don't like cardio, don't do it. I would say walk. You can walk at a decent pace. We don't have to be out here walking at, 5 miles an hour. I don't even know if that's probably not even walking, but do you get what I'm saying? I get on my walking pad, I do 3.0, and that's good for me. Sometimes I have on my weighted vest, sometimes I don't. We don't get any awards for being the person that just does the most stuff. That's not a thing. All of that to say, make sure you're doing things because it's what you want to do. And don't feel bad because other people are doing things that you don't want to do. You don't have to do them. Okay? And we also have to be realistic about our expectations. You can be strength training, walking regularly, eating in a healthy way, and you're still not going to drop weight super fast. You could be doing those things and still not lose weight quickly. My advice to you, which is something that I wish I would have had this advice before starting, when you go into your experience, focus on how you feel and how you want to feel. If you're diabetic, your A1C improving, like those kind of things, things that you can see in black and white. This is where I was, this is where I am. If you have other issues like sleep apnea, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, like focus on those things, especially if you're on medication for those. This whole process looks different. There are people who it's taken them years to get to their goal. It's really disheartening to see people beating themselves up, especially those that have made lifestyle changes, because the scale isn't moving quickly. So then all of a sudden, the way that you've been feeling, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter that you can walk farther, that you can go up and down the stairs without being out of breath, that you can sit down and get up, you can sleep through the night, you're not constantly in pain. Like I hear people say those things and still be upset because the scale isn't moving quickly. What do you think you're going to feel when you get to that magic number? If you have a magic number, I would love for you to answer in the comments. What do you think you're going to feel when you get there? What is this obsession about a particular number or how many pounds you can lose in 1 week? This is our new lives. We're not who we were before, and we're not going back to that. And the only way to do that is to focus on the things that matter more. And all these other markers I was talking about, they matter more than the number on the scale. Do you know what I mean? Like it just makes me sad to see people beating themselves up and then also beating themselves up because they're not maybe exercising like this person or enjoying it. You just haven't found the right thing yet. There's so many different forms of exercise. I know that a lot of us say strength training, and I recognize that everybody in the world is not doing that. And there are people that are relatively fit that aren't doing that. So I'm not trying to discourage you from that, but I'm saying just because you're not doing that doesn't mean that you can't do something else or find something else. Some like Pilates, yoga, calisthenics. People use resistance bands, weights, body weight exercises. There are lots of things that you can do that aren't necessarily requiring you to go to a gym and lift weights. You can get a set of weights and keep those at home. But if you absolutely hate it, find something else. Don't get bullied into doing something you don't want to do. But then we have to have realistic expectations also. So if you're not wanting to do certain things, then let's not expect certain outcomes, right? Because if we're not doing, these are the steps that lead here. If we don't take these steps to lead there, then we're not going to get there. So let's go over my meals. I have been tracking my macros and calories over the past 2 weeks. So I just want to go through that with you, just so you can see the fluctuation between the days. So it's not about making sure I get to this number or, oh, you can't go over this number. So it's just really for data. And you'll see that it's different from day to day. So Friday, November 21st, that day was 1,867 calories, 115 grams of protein, 246 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat, and 60 grams of fiber. On Saturday, November 22nd, that was 2,063 calories, 102 grams of protein, 270 grams of carbs, 69 grams of fat, 51 grams of fiber. On Sunday, November 23rd, 1,799 calories, 92 grams of protein, 270 grams of carbs, 51 grams of fat, and 49 grams of fiber. On Monday, November 24th, that was 1,828 calories, 95 grams of protein, 274 grams of carbs, 52 grams of fat, 51 grams of fiber. On Tuesday, November 25th, 2,076 calories, 104 grams of protein, 278 grams of carbs, 61 grams of fat, and 56 grams of fiber. Wednesday, November 26th, 1,414 calories, 97 grams of protein, 166 grams of carbs, 46 grams of fat, 42 grams of fiber. Thursday, November 27th, 1,760 calories. Now that was 74 grams of protein, 262 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat, and 46 grams of fiber. On Friday, November 28th, 1,651 calories and 99 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, 60 grams of fat, and 47 grams of fiber. Saturday, November 29th, 2,019 calories, 97 grams of protein, 271 grams of carbs, 68 grams of fat, and 64 grams of fiber. Sunday, November 30th, 1,893 calories, 91 grams of protein, 271 grams of carbs, 51 grams of fat, and 46 grams of fiber. Monday, December 1st, exactly 1,900 calories, 95 grams of protein, 251 grams of carbs, 68 grams of fat, 54 grams of fiber. Tuesday, December 2nd, 1,476 calories, 109 grams of protein, 164 grams of carbs, 46 grams of fat, 35 grams of fiber. Wednesday, December 3rd, 1,709 calories, 84 grams of protein, 245 grams of carbs, 56 grams of fat, and 54 grams of fiber. Thursday, December 4th, 1,888 calories, 92 grams of protein, 284 grams of carbs, 51 grams of fat, and 55 grams of fiber. So that is what the last 2 weeks have looked like for me. And you see I'm not getting exactly anything every day. It's just a variety. Factors that are important to me: fiber. Protein is important, but I'm not as invested in protein as everyone else seems to be. I was told that I'm getting enough and I'm okay with that, but I make sure that fiber is super important. And you see that I get a really good amount of carbs, and I recognize that a lot of people don't eat like that, but that seems to work for me, and it doesn't give me any distress. Now, I don't fry my food. A lot of things, if it is something that would be fried, I make it in the air fryer. I use my air fryer multiple times a day because I'm putting in veggies and tofu and things like that. Chickpeas, I make those in the air fryer. And again, I'm eating in a way that makes me feel good. And when I say feel good, I mean physically. Like, I enjoy the food, but it's more about nourishment. And I'm okay with that. I've spent way too many years of my life obsessing and focused on food and when the next meal is coming. So I'm not going to continue to post the macros, but I did that for 2 weeks. And that way, anyone that's interested, they can see that. I just wanted to share that. And just to let you know that every day is going to be different. I do my shots on Sundays. I don't feel a kick in. And it's been like that for me since I started. There's no like, oh, I can tell it's time for the next dose. It's just consistently been the same. So making sure you get enough food is important. Moving your body in some way is important. And not putting too much pressure or these unrealistic expectations on yourself. We don't have to do what everybody else is doing. We can celebrate other people and celebrate ourselves for what we're doing and how we're improving in ways that are not necessarily stuff that other people's they're gonna see. This is our own personal journey. If you've made it this far, you're awesome. Because I know I kind of went all over the place, but I just want you to know that you don't have to do what anyone else is doing. It's the whole thing. We're sharing but not comparing. You're not less than. You're not better than. Like, I'm not better than you because of what I'm doing or not doing, and vice versa. This is our own personal experience. Feel free to comment below if you agree with something I said. If you don't agree, put that in the comments too. I like having respectful, healthy conversation. And I will see you on Monday at the live stream. And I will leave you with this. I want you to always remember, we can share our journeys, but we should never compare them. Bye. Now she's